Welcome to Classic Advice. My name is Scarlett, your host. My goal with this podcast is to share my life experiences and advice with the purpose to inspire us and challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. Each and every episode will be dedicated to that. Have you ever started something with enthusiasm and then 2 months, 4 months, 6 months down the road, the rose-colored glasses, so to speak, come off and the enthusiasm dies and you decide to quit? I find it very easy to start something, but having the discipline to follow it through year after year after year is challenging for me. And the story that I'd like to share with you guys today is one about my podcast. I started this podcast back in March of this year, which is 2024. And so that is roughly 8 months ago. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, or 7 months ago, sorry. 7 months ago, I have started this podcast. And recently, I have found it very difficult to come into my bedroom, which is my studio, my makeshift studio, and open my laptop, get my headset out, and record. Finding topics hasn't necessarily been hard. I still have ideas of things that I like to talk about, or share with you. But the rose-colored glasses, or the enthusiasm, has died off. I've been running for a while now, and metaphorically speaking, and I'm tired. I'm getting to the point of exhaustion and burnout. I think part of the reason is when I started back in March, it was something that was new and exciting. And now it's not new anymore. I've been doing this for a little bit over half a year now. And a part of me wants to quit. A part of me wants to throw in the towel and say, this is too much. This is too much work. This is a lot of my time and energy. And something that my husband reminded me of, he said, well, you said even if you have one listener, you were going to keep going. And I don't, deep down, I don't want to quit. Deep down, I want to keep going. Deep down, I want to keep pursuing this. I don't want to say I used to be a podcaster. I want to say I am a podcaster, and I have been podcasting for X number of months or years, and I've never missed a week. And I am really, really proud of the fact that since I started, I said I was going to do this weekly, and as of today, I haven't missed a release date, which I'm super proud of that fact. Like yesterday, I recorded an episode, I edited it, and I uploaded it with would have been 6 hours to spare. So that I wouldn't be late on my release date. So yeah, there are weeks when I'm really, pushing the boundaries, so to speak, of getting a release out on time. Now, is it the end of the world if I miss a week? In the grand scheme of things, no, it's not the end of the world if I miss a week. But for my own self, I really don't want to. I think maybe there will be times that maybe I will miss a week, but I'm really trying my best not to stick with what I said to myself, with the promise that I made to myself that I'm going to follow this through. Last week, I talked about practice makes perfect and how I started piano but then quit because it was too hard. And there have been there have been things that I have started in the past that I did, and then I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with this, and I quit. And I mean, there's a time and a season for everything. There's a reason, like, for example, my meat rabbits, there was a very good reason why I quit doing that. I decided that I had a good run with it, and that season was over, that I wanted to dedicate some time to doing some other things instead. And I fully intend to perhaps pick it up again in the future when we move properties, because I would like to have a different setup. I'd like to do it differently and whatnot. And just the property that we have right now, it's not really ideal for it. So I said, you know what, let's pause on this, and perhaps I'll pick it up again when we move and we have a property that's just better set up for having the meat rabbits. And you know, I did pet rabbits too. They're cute and fuzzy and everything, but they are a lot of work and whatnot. Anyways, I digress. It's this season of my life that I'm in right now. I am going to be very honest with you guys and saying that I'm struggling. I'm struggling to find the motivation to keep doing my passion project, which is my podcast. And when I started, you know, a little bit over half a year ago, I was a part of a weekly meetup group. Every Saturday we get together and encourage each other. And I think I haven't been able to go to that for a little bit over a month now. And so I am lacking a little bit in the support department from just being engaged with other podcasters in that sense over Zoom. I am a part of another group that's all podcasters that we support each other over WhatsApp, which is so awesome. I really, really appreciate that group. But for some reason, I'm just really having a hard time finding the motivation and not even the motivation, but there's the drive to, the passion behind it, the oomph, you know, to keep going. And I thought, you know what, if I'm struggling with this right now in my life, perhaps this is something that we could talk about together here on the podcast. And the lesson that I'd like us to take from my story of I'm finding it hard to do it, but I'm going to keep going, is when you want to quit, I'd like to encourage you to just keep going a little bit longer. Keep pushing just a little bit more. And maybe going back to my running days. When I was in high school, I used to run every second day. And there would come a time when I would get really, really tired. And then it was almost like a switch went off and I would get what they call runner's high, which is you no longer feel tired. You feel absolutely just amazing and you just fly on that track as you're running. I've only experienced it a handful of times in my life, but wow, what a rush that you get when you're running on the track and you just feel like you've got wings and you could run forever. I'd like to encourage you, and I'm speaking to myself in this moment right now, and this is, you know, a little bit scary for me to share on air and broadcast to the world, you know, when you are struggling with something. I'd like us to keep pushing and keep persevering when things get hard. When things are hard and you want to quit, to not quit just yet. To keep pushing and to keep persevering in those times when it's really, really hard. Some things that have changed since when I started to now is I have a different job that takes a lot of time I'm working twice as many hours, if not more than that. And, there's only 24 hours in a day. So that in it of itself makes it hard. Not being able to meet up with my friends over Zoom because I'm out working. And then when I have days off, I'm so exhausted that I'm just completely depleted. I've never slept so much in my life. So all of that combined, I know that the longer I stay at the job, and I love my job. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably the best thing for my family. And I love it. I just need to keep pushing through these first few months till my body gets used to the physical work, because I come from a desk job. So of course, going into the field and doing physical labor is going to be really hard and stressful on my body. But given time, when I push through this hard period of starting, my body's going to get stronger. I'm going to get used to the long hours. My family's going to adjust with, picking up the different tasks that maybe I don't have time for when I am working those really long days. It's an adjustment period. It's that we've got to shift things around a little bit, and we'll find our new happy place. We'll find our new balance on the teeter-totter, and then life will be good again. And I won't be so exhausted because my body will be stronger. I won't be so overwhelmed with things because I've found my balance. Now the rose-colored glasses are still going to be off, because when you start something really new, at least for me, I find that it's like, oh, this is amazing. I'm in love with it. This is awesome. And then over time, it becomes mediocre and it becomes the normal. It's not new and exciting and shiny anymore. And it's almost like marriage in a way, when you first fall in love with someone and you're infatuated, and then you learn about their flaws and their quirks and their whatever, and learning to fall in love again all over with the thing that you used to just be infatuated with at the start. But then, thinking about my marriage with Roy, we've learned to love each other despite our flaws and our quirks and our shortcomings. He loves me even though I have my bad side, I guess you could say. He still loves me even when I mess up, and I still love him even when he messes up. And when you find that true love, and you love the person despite their flaws and their quirks and their whatever, you love them for their true authentic self. It's absolutely phenomenal what you get when you get to that point in a marriage, because it's true love, because you're loving and he loves me for me, even though he knows and seen me in my, bad moods and whatever. That's an amazing feeling, to have someone in your corner that loves you for you. And going back to you wanting to quit podcasting because I'm just so overwhelmed right now and tired and exhausted and all those other things. Finding my why and going back to the why I started in the first place. I want you to think about in your own life. What is it that you maybe want to quit, or you did quit? And I want you to think about why did you start in the first place? For me, I started because I found in just my own personal life, a lot of people were coming to me when they were going through hard times, and I would give them my advice, and they seemed to really value it. when I started listening to podcasts, I started thinking to myself, what if I could have a farther reach? What if I made a podcast about my life experiences and advice, and instead of only touching the people in my immediate circle, I could touch more people. And you're here still listening to me now, and you're my why. You're why I'm still here, because you matter to me. And if you're listening to me, it means that hopefully I'm bringing value to your life. And I don't want to quit on you, because you matter to me. And that's something that I mentioned before, that Roy said. You said, even if you have one person listening, you're going to keep going. And I still have people that listen. So that means I need to keep going. I need to buck up, so to speak. If you're not a native English speaker, it means, get over myself, get back up off the ground, get back on my horse, and keep riding. Keep riding this out. So I would encourage you to think about in your own life what this means for you. Is there something that you quit in the past? Is there something that, like me, you're feeling exhausted, the rose-colored glasses are off, and it's not all rosy and colorful and fun anymore, or whatever. But you know that if you keep going, deep down, you do want to keep going. You don't want to quit. I would like you to imagine, how would you feel if you didn't quit and you kept going, and in a year or 2 years from now, you look back and you could say, I'm still a podcaster, or I'm still breeding those rabbits, or I'm still doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't quit on writing that book that I wanted to do. That leads us to the challenge of the week. My challenge for you guys this week is probably going to be very obvious. Don't quit. Don't quit whatever it is that you're feeling like you really want to just quit. Find your why. Really ponder that for a moment. What's your why? Why did you start? Remind yourself why you fell in love with it in the first place. Why did I start podcasting in the first place? Was for you, for my audience, to have a little bit of a bigger reach so I could try to help as many people as I can while I'm here. What's your why? And don't quit. Figure out your why, and hopefully that'll help you keep going and give you just a little nudge of perseverance, a little bit of a leg up, so to speak. And hopefully by me sharing my story of wanting to quit, it gives you the, there's even me that, yeah, I so far haven't missed a week, but there are times when I'm close to, or that I don't want to just do it. Well, when I think about my why, or when my husband reminds me of my why, it brings me back to the microphone, to you. And it does bring a smile to my face. I am happy that I'm here. I'm grateful to be here. I'm honored to be here. This part B of my challenge, as you guys all know, to quote Dear JJ down in Maine, is to please pause, think about your why, love yourself, and don't give up. Keep the promise that you made to yourself to keep going, and be aware of your ripple. Like I've said last week, we all have a ripple, and let's make it a positive one. Alrighty, I have a lovely glass of iced tea with me today. I'm lifting it up. Here's to you. Here's to you, my friends, for every step that you take to becoming a better you and making it count. Stay classic, you guys, and by that I mean stay unique, stay awesome, stay excellent, stay you, stay uniquely you. All right, well, that is a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the very end. You guys are the best. You're the best. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. It means the world to me that you guys are here. I would love to hear from you. My website is ClassicChronicles.ca. If you want to head on over there, you scroll all the way to the bottom. There is a little section there you can write me an email, and I would love to hear from you. I can't wait to hear from you and see what's going on in your little neck of the woods, in your world. What are you struggling with? And I would love to be here for you. All right, well, till next week, we will chat later. Bye.